All right, so today on The Boot Guy, we are going to be deconstructing this pair of Timberland 53536. This is a waterproof, non-steel toe, regular 4-season boot. All right, so one of the beautiful things about the 53536 is that it has a waterproof membrane. It's one of the newer types of boots that has the newer construction. So that's why I really wanted to cut this thing up, is that the whole boot down inside here is directly attached to the sole. So that means the waterproof membrane goes all the way around the sole. Or at least that's what I've been told, that that waterproof membrane goes all the way around. So I want to cut into it. I want to find the waterproof membrane. I want to see what it's all about. Plus, I also want to see the layers in this direct attached sole. I want to cut the sole in half and just see the layers that have been molded to it. So that's that. Got a few tools we're going to use today. Not a lot of tools, just a few. Couple X-Acto knives. All right. A pair of channel locks in case I got to pull stuff apart or hold stuff down. A ruler so I can measure things that are, you know, see how thick things are, see how, you know, typical stuff you need a ruler for. Instead of using a tape measure, I'm going to use a ruler. Leatherman, always have the Leatherman for these deconstruction videos. And another pair of pliers. And I know you're probably wondering, yes, a miter saw. Just a very cheap, easy miter saw. Just something that I can cut the thing in half and I don't worry about messing up a blade. I don't worry about, you know, messing anything up. I'm sawing a shoe in half. I don't know what I'm going to hit when I get through there. I know it's going to be a fiberglass shank, but let's see what happens. We don't need both boots and we're just going to cut up one. So we're going to start here with the right boot. Let's get rid of the left boot. Let's pull out the laces just like last time. I know I should probably cut out the laces, but you know, the laces aren't all that bad. Someday I might run into somebody that actually needs an extra lace and I'll have a lace for them. So we'll pull that out. Now, let's do something even more fun. Let's figure out where we're going to start to cut this thing up. So I'm probably going to start here on the arch and come all the way around to the heel. I'm going to try and cut it directly away from the sole without penetrating the waterproof liner. So as you can see, the glue is already peeling away. See that right there? That glue is already starting to peel away. So this should be pretty easy. This should not be that tough. It isn't like I'm going through a lot of leather here. Just got a couple layers. See if I can get right down into there. I don't want to break the barrier because I want the barrier to be attached. So I got to get right through the leather first. Let's score that thing apart. All right. There's going to be parts where I don't say anything because I'm kind of concentrating. So just bear with me on that. And if you're sending me questions, I really can't read any of them right now because my hands are busy. So, but thanks for watching. If you're watching the live stream, thanks a lot. But this leather is pretty thick. I have to say, this is not the thinnest leather out there. There we go. Okay. Yep. A Texan toe cover. You'll find that a lot in non-steel toe boots. They use a lot of Texan in places just to give it some reinforcement because it plays real nice with all the adhesives and whatnot that they use. All right, so I think right here, before I get any further, see the glue? You can see the glue in there. I'm going to take a quick photo just so I can show him off on what's going on. All right, I need to darken that up a little bit so it makes sense. Yeah, maybe I should shoot it from there. Let's get back to cutting this thing up. So the glue is really separating there. See, the glue is just completely starting to separate from the sole. So we will back at the heel here is going to be a little bit tougher because it's the heel, it's a stitch. Really nice thread. So that's like the same thread that they use when they make gun holsters. It's the same hand of thread that's, I think it's called V70 or V69 is the thread they use. All right, more Texan back in the heel. As you can see, the Texan back there in the heel section. So that's pretty interesting. Got 3 pieces of leather that come together back in this heel, so it gets much thicker. And this is really good to see that they are putting so much leather back there, because that is a part on every boot. If there wasn't enough support, that would just fall apart. Now I'm going to try and come back the other way now and meet back in the heel so I can flip this thing, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through that heel like that. The bad part is I'm trying to be so careful because I don't want to hit that liner. So all this makes sense for the reason why I'm doing it. Because if I hit the liner, then it's just going to look like a sock hanging in there. But if we can get the liner to show through. Come on. Okay, I think I got enough through there that I can give it a tug. There we go. Nice. Okay. A tug on this side. All right, so there we go. So that's the waterproof membrane. All right, so that's pretty cool. So when you hear about Gore-Tex and waterproof membranes and all that stuff, that's what they're looking at. That's what they're talking about. That's what the baggie is. That keeps your boots waterproof. I gotta say, it's pretty damn interesting seeing it all connected on that direct attach sole like that, getting down into there, knowing that that is still connected underneath the boot. That when water doesn't penetrate from the sole or from the top or from anywhere, that it's one booty. Like I said, that's what they claim, and that's what we have to find out. We're going to cut through this next and get down into there and see what is going on with the sole, how it's actually connected into this whole boot. All right, one more photo. I just want to get, those get right there. Okay. All right. So let's figure out the next part. Now I can cut away the upper, because this is pretty easy. It's just a row of stitches all the way through up there. Let's pull that thing apart. And the padding for the collar. Oh, well, we might not have to worry about cutting it apart. Looks like this is going to rip apart. Yep, there we go. So the baggie does go all the way around. It just connects underneath. It's glued down to the midsole. So there it is. There's the waterproof baggie. Texan footboard, Texan heel, Texan in the toe, and that right there, that's the shank. That's what gives your foot all the support so you can climb ladders and move around. That's pretty damn cool. I think I need another sip of liquid courage for this. All right, well, should we try and get that shank out of there? see. Hold that thing in half like that. Let's see if I can't get this plier on there. There we go. There we go. So that's the shank. It's kind of a plastic material. It might not be plastic. It might be some sort of, I don't know, something that's molded. And it's got holes so it goes into place so they can orientate it to the sole down in there. But it's not, it's definitely not carbon fiber, and it's definitely not steel. And there's really, I guess to keep the shoe flexible, there's not a lot going on in there. Almost nothing. But I guess when you're used to seeing logger shanks all the time and you're used to seeing heavy duty shanks, something like this, it's romper room, it's playtime. All right, so that's the booty and that's the sock. I said the word booty. All right, so that's the waterproof booty, waterproof sock. That's the upper. And as you can see, I mean, if I did the other one, I'd have a pair of boot slippers. All right, so I don't know, let's saw this thing in half. Let's see the layers that are going on, if I can saw it in half. All right. All right, I'm sure this is going to get loud and noisy and annoying. And somehow I have to figure out how I can get, I got it right there. Looks like I'm going to be able to saw it through right there. Okay. So I'm using a very cheap miter saw and box. It's got a very thin TPI tooth per inch pattern. I'm thinking that's going to cut better than like a ripping saw through this. I can imagine that this is what it's like sawing through rubber, because that's all I'm doing is sawing through rubber. Oh, there we go. Nice. I don't even know if I need to cut it all the way through. I scored that real nice. I betcha if I just hit this with the X-Acto knife, I cut away all these layers. Yeah, sure can. Just like that. All right. Thank you, saw. Thank you very much, saw. Now, let's just slowly cut through this. And look at that, just totally, that's just slicing away really nice. All right, I'm going to take a photo of that before I get all the way through. Of that thing cut in half. There we go. Kind of looks like a weird sandwich. Like you could take a bite out of it or something. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat me a soul sandwich. I'll get one more like that. All right. So if you're interested in seeing any of these photos I'm taking when I have this all edited and done for YouTube, you'll be able to see the photos online at TheBootGuy.com. I'll have it there in the blog posting as always. It's like cutting away in layers. It's interesting. Each score just takes away a little bit more material. And there we go. The sole is cut in half. And take a look at that. That is pretty damn cool. The sole sandwich. Well, that's really interesting. Huh. So that's the shank. That's the sole. That's the upper. That's the waterproof booty. So when a boot says it's waterproof, this is the one thing you want to make sure a waterproof boot has is a waterproof membrane, a booty. You do not want to buy a waterproof boot depending on it to be waterproof and only have it chemically treated and sealed. That'll do you no good. Got to make sure there's a waterproof membrane. It could be a fancy waterproof membrane like a Gore-Tex or a Sympatec or something like that, but you definitely want a waterproof membrane. Thanks a lot for watching. Please remember to hit that subscribe button below. And if you've got any questions about footwear, boots, socks, work gear, any of that, remember you can always shoot me over an email. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.